Yeah, very good morning children. This is Flavia ma'am. Now this chapter is friction and it is very important chapter. Friction is a chapter, it's a type of force. Even last class we studied about force and pressure. Even friction also is a type of force, okay, where we are using force and pressure. Friction is also called as opposing force. This is nothing but if any body falls on another body, the opposing body will have more friction. That is only called as friction. Friction is nothing but it's an opposing force. Now look at the figure. A boy is swimming in the river, pond, whatever it is. If he is not applying force, you cannot swim. So there also he is using force. So he is applying a force over there. So now why he is applying the force? That is, he is going to apply the force to swim in the river, where in the river we have a frictional force opposing. The water will oppose when the boy is swimming. So when the boy is swimming in the river in one direction, the water in the river will be having one more opposing side. The frictional force, that is the river, which is opposing force, will not allow the boy to swim. So he is going to apply his force, apply pressure and force to swim across the river. So when the boy goes in one direction, the river will come in opposite direction, the opposing force. That is only friction. So that means the friction is a negative force which is opposing the force. So that is called as friction. So when we apply force, we can move one article or any one box from one place to another. But frictional force will oppose. It will not allow you to move the box from one place to another. It will be a opposing force. So that is only called as friction. So now I am going to throw a ball. Now you can see a ball in the figure. So when the ball is moving, then when up to the force is there, it will move. Then slowly it will stop the motion of the ball. So there the opposing force, friction, will takes place and makes the balls to stop. Next figure, you can see that sole of a shoe. When we are walking, when we are using force, we are walking, but the sole of the shoe will get rubbed in the road or in the pavement, then it will have more frictional force. So the road will oppose not to walk. So the base of the shoe, sole of the shoe will get rubbed up and it will become rugged. So there friction, opposing force is working. So friction is an opposing force. It will come across the opposite direction. So from this I am going to teach you the friction force, a very important chapter in the class. Next topics we are going to be covered. So friction we are going to see, causes of friction we are going to see, factors affecting friction we are going to see. Next the methods to reduce the friction, advantages and disadvantages of friction, fluids and fluid drag. These topics we are going to analyze, learn, understand skillfully. So let us start now. Now look at the figure. Have you ever thought that why a vehicle slow down when brakes are applied? We have always seen that any ball moving on a surface stops after traveling certain distance without the act of external force. So even the ball example I am going to take, even the ball, when I am going to kick with the force, it will go certain distance and it will stop. Same like that, even car, I am going to apply the brake, it will go little far and it will stop. So there also the opposition friction takes place. So even in the ball example, even if you apply force also it will stop for after certain distance. Even if you are not applying force also it will go to the certain distance and it will stop by the opposing force friction. So the ball will come certain places and it will stop. So there also the friction takes place. Next one is why it is difficult to walk on smooth and wet floor. Why we fall when we step onto a banana peel. Caution if it is a wet floor. Is it not? Yes, when it is in wet floor, we cannot walk smoothly because the friction, the opposing force will be what? More. The more friction it will be. It will be slippery and we will tend to fall. So even when somebody is walking, if they keep their leg on the banana peel, they will slip down. There also the banana will be sticky and the opposition force, that is friction, will take place and it will affect our walking. Now we are going to answer to all these kind of questions you will get in this chapter, that is friction. So now we are going to answer all these questions using the friction. The first question will be, what is the friction? It is an opposing force that opposes the motion of one body over the surface of another body. Look at the figure. A person is walking and somebody is pushing the force. That is, we are going to walk with our leg using force. But down the road will have more friction. It will oppose us. So when the two bodies will come in touch with the force, that is, one is walking force, one is the friction force, then the work will be done. So that is, it is an opposing force that opposes the motion of one body over the surface of another body. For a very good example, when you are walking in the road, if you keep your force only, then only you can lift your leg and you can walk faster. When you are walking, if the road is slippery, you may tend to fall. You may fall. Then the opposing force works more than your force. So when you are walking fastly, swiftly, the opposing force, which is road, will not allow us to walk fastly. So that time we are going to use our pushing force to walk properly. So when the applied force, that is pushing force, is more than the friction, that is opposing force, then only our body will move from one place to another, that is, the body will be in motion. So we can tell that friction is nothing but a opposing force should be in opposite direction, and the applied motion, the body in the motion, should be in opposite direction. Both are in opposite direction, then only the one body over the surface of the another body, the friction causes. Now we are going to, it comes in the notice only when two surfaces are in the contact with each other. It is called as contact force. It is forced by solids, liquids as well as by gases, but it is minimum in the case of solids and least in the case of gases. See, now look at the first diagram. The boy is swimming, already explained. Again, the birds are flying in the high sky. What will happen? There the wind will blow to the opposite direction. The bird will have more applied force to swing the wings to move faster from one place to the another place. So it proves that it comes in notice when only two surfaces are in the contact with each other. That is called as contact force. It is offered by solids and liquids as well as by gases. It is maximum in case of solids, where it will be maximum in solids, but it will be least in the gases, but minimum in the water. Maximum, minimum, least. Okay, medium will be in the liquids. The motion will be in liquids. Look at the first diagram. In that, the boy is swimming. He is applying force in one direction where he wants to go from one place to another. But the friction opposite the water will give in the opposite direction. There also the two forces are in contact but are in different direction. So that means in solid it is maximum, in liquid it is medium, and in the gases it is least, minimum. Next, second point is causes of friction. The surface of the solids etc. that appears to be smoother or a lot of actually smooth, they possess some irregularities, that is ridges and grooves. I will repeat, the surface of solids etc. that appears to be smoother or not actually smooth, they possess some irregularities, that is ridges and grooves. For example, the man is walking in a road. By walking, we are seeing from very far, we are thinking that road is very smooth, but it will not be smooth, it will be what? Irregularities, ridges and grooves on the ups and downs irutte, and then it will be having ridges. So not a smooth, ridges is nothing but not a smooth surface. Now look at the figure. Now blue part is looking nice solid and red part is nice solid. Both are looking similar and they both are looking soft, okay, smooth, but it's not smooth. You can see that. So when the friction takes place, it will be what? Ridged and grooves will be there. So the two bodies, that is red and blue, they will both will get what? Have contact force. They will have what? Contact force. So when both the solids are getting locked, you will have more friction. So you have to apply more force in it. When these type of surface come in contact with other surface, the ridges, grooves get interlocked and opposing force, that is friction, comes into notice, which opposes the motion. Force of a friction always act in the opposite direction to the motion applied force. So you can see that, okay, when both the solids get interlocked, the ridges and grooves also get interlocked and the opposing friction comes into notice. So you will be having more friction, opposing force will be more. So from this we can know that if the body moves in one direction, the friction will be in the opposite direction. So from this we can understand that the opposing force is called as friction. Then if the friction is more, we have to apply more force in it. Okay. Next topic we are going to deal about factors affecting friction. Nature of surface. More is the roughness, more is the friction. So whatever looks like smooth, they are not smooth, they are very rough. And if the surface is rough, when any body comes into the contact to the rough part, then the friction will be more. It will be what? More opposing friction will be taking, more opposing force will be taken. So how much is the rough that surfaces, then it will have more friction. Then more friction means more opposing force. More opposing force means more roughness. Then more friction will be there. Then we have to apply more force to what? Move from that place to another place. Then more interlocking will be there. So you are looking at tiles. Some tiles by looking it will be smooth, but when you walk on it, it will be very rough and then more ridges will be there. Even in the road, if you see, it will be smooth road, but when it will be more ridges, if more ridges will be there, more interlocking will be there. If more interlocking, it is called as friction. If more friction, we have to apply more force in it. Second one is weight. Weight is nothing but normal force. More is the weight of the body, more is the friction. Second one is surface area in contact. More is the surface area of contact, more is friction again. If weight is more, friction will be more. If area of contact is more, then more friction. Look at the tiles. On the tiles we kept one box. If more interlocking is there, then more ridges, then the box will have more friction. Okay. Next, a boy is pulling a toy. If the road is rigid, automatically the boy has to use more force to move the toy from one place to another. If it's more rigid, the toy will not move smoothly. It will have ups and downs and the toy may fall. So look at the first diagram. The surface area of the tile and the box is less, but the boy and the toy is more with the surface, that is with the floor. Okay. So there will be more friction. Next, methods to reduce friction. Making the body streamlined, that is wider for middle and narrow for the ends. So think of the fish, that body will be what? Wider, and that face part and the tail part will be thinner. Okay. Middle will be narrow and the narrow will be ends. That's why the fish is swimming like this vertically. Okay. So to reduce friction, the main body should be wider and the corner should be thinner. The end should be what? Narrow and short. So converting into wheels. Wheels have rolling function by polishing the surface. Now you can see the wheel, but it will be having what? Rolling function. It is having rolling function. Even the wheel also streamlined. It is also streamlined. Even the polishing surface also will have less friction because of what? Interlocking will be less. Interlocking will be less in the polished surface. So even in that polishing surface, the roughness will be less. So the rigidness will be less, grooves will be less. So there will be less friction. Even in the wheel, if the wheel is smooth and it is vertically streamlined, then we will have what? Less friction. Next one is question. Why the sole of your shoe is grooved? It is grooved in order to provide better grip on the floor so that we can move safely. See, those who are runners, those who are sport persons, they'll be having spiked shoes and rigid shoes. Why? To avoid the friction, to avoid the slipperiness in the walking. Okay, so to move safely, to have the movement safely. So the shoes are grooved and they will have less contact with the road surface or in the mud floor or in the running area. So friction will be less. If the friction opposing force is less, then applied force will be more and they can run swiftly. Swiftly meaning run fastly. So in some shoes and all will be very slippery. They will be not having rigid surface bottom or it is not grooved and it will not be wider also. That time what will have? You will have more condition of slipperiness. You can slip easily and you cannot run fastly. You will fall. Then it will have more friction. So what will happen then? If the base of the shoes or slippers are soft and they are slippery, you cannot move swiftly. Safely you cannot move. So that's why the sole of the shoes are made rigid, okay, grooved. So to safely we can move. We have a movement safely. Next question is, why brake pads are used in brake system of automobiles and cycles? In order to increase friction so that brake can work in an effective way. So when a vehicle we are moving. So the brake pads are used in brake system of automobiles and cycles in order to increase the friction so that brake can work in an effective way. That means brake pads are used in the brake system of automobiles to increase the friction. So to increase the friction, that means suddenly if you apply brake, the vehicle should stop in a particular place. So the brake pads are used to increase more friction to apply brake and work in an effective way. When we are traveling or driving the vehicle, the pads do not touch the vehicles. But as soon as we apply brake lever, the pads arrest the motion of rim due to friction and wheel stops moving. The vehicle's pad will get touch with the body. That is, when you drive a vehicle, the pads do not touch the vehicles. So the vehicle pads will be higher. As soon as we put the brake, the pad in the lever will go touch and arrest the motion of the rim, that the wheel should not move further from one place to another place. It will stop where we put the brake there only. So that is called as friction, where it stops by using the friction also will, opposing force also will get stopped and the wheel also stop moving from that place. So when we are driving the vehicles, the pads do not touch the wheels, but as soon as we apply brake, what happens? The lever of the pad touch the road or the surface which is rigid also and arrest the motion of rim due to the friction and the wheel stops moving. So it helps. There is a cause of friction which will not affect the motion. So as soon as the pads which is attached with the wheels will touch the wheels and it will hold tightly and the wheels will not move and we will not have more friction. As soon as we put the brake, the vehicle will stop. So the wheels also will stop the movement and the body which is in the motion will also stop. So there is a less cause of friction and it will not be slippery. Sometimes what will happen? Next question is, why we sprinkle powder on a carom board? When powder is sprinkled on carom board, its smoothness and the surface and the stagger move smoothly. So here we are causing friction. We are making the surface more slippery. So what happens? As soon as we put the powder, whatever body or anything which is in the contact of the carom board, that striker, okay, or stagger, which will move from one place to another in a easy manner. That means what? We are making more friction over there and we are making the slippery surface over there. Next question is, why oil is poured on the hinges of door? In order to reduce friction so that it can open smoothly. So what does this hinges means? A clamp which is fixed in between the two doors. A clamp which is fixed in between the two doors is called as hinges. If oil is less, if it has more friction, it will make one dirty sound in that. So whenever we will open door, and it will have a difficulty to open and close the door also. So we will produce or we will put oil in that to reduce the friction. The smoothness we will reduce, so we will not have more smooth and easily we can open and close the door. That's why in hinges we pour oil. Next question is, why oil and grease are applied on moving part of machine? When it is applied in forms of a thin layer, there and moving surface do not directly rub with each other. So interlocking can be avoided to the great extent. That means you can see that wheels, they'll have teeth, we will say. That two wheels are getting attached in any machine particles to rotate the machine or any process of machine. That time what will happen? We'll apply oil and grease. That means the wheel should not get directly rubbed. For that, to reduce the friction and interlocking also. See, if oil is not produced, what will happen? The two wheels will get linked to each other and it will stop to move. To avoid interlocking, we are using oil between two wheels which is moving or a moving part of a machine. Next topic is advantages of friction. In that we are going to discuss about all the advantages we will have in friction. It enables us to write on paper. So the paper we can write. It enables us to hold a pen. It enables us to walk. It will hold screw in wood. It allows dishes to stand on table and many more. Holding a screw in a wood. Look at the first picture what I put for you. So you can hold a screw on a plain surface of wood. Then because of friction, both the particles will have contact, that is the nail and the wood, and the next dishes standing on a table. I put the picture for that also. We can say that friction is a necessary evil. So sometimes it is dangerous, sometimes it's very much needed. See, now look at that figure. In that table I kept some plates, saucers, everything. Because of friction, all the plates are touching, having contact with the table. So friction helps. If friction is not there, slowly my plates will move from one place to another and it will get destroyed or it will fall from the table to downwards. So next side heading is disadvantages of friction. Some energy is wasted in overcoming friction. If you have more friction also, the energy will be destroyed and wasted. So here I want to tell one point. Energy cannot be destroyed or it cannot be created. So, but with the help of this friction, I already told you it's a big evil also. But it's good also and it is bad also. But that friction will cause the energy to get wasted. Next side reading is, it causes wear and tear of sole of shoes. Heat product by friction damage rubber parts of the machine. So when you walk in the road also, if friction is more, the sole will get what? Wasted and the sole will get more rashes. That's why shoes bottom will be grooved and rigid. So when friction takes place, when the two body in the contact gets rubbed and heat is produced, so the rubber parts will get melted and get damaged, even in the machine also. Next side heading is fluids. Liquids and gases are called fluids. That is, a combination of liquids and gases are called fluids. These fluids allow excrete force of friction on objects in motion through them. So another point I want to say that fluids can flow. Liquids and the liquid gases which is flow from one place to another place, we'll call it as fluids. So liquid plus gas, okay, the gas which is in the liquid form is called as fluids. A combination of liquids and gases together is also called fluids. So here I want to explain what are solids, liquids and gases. So the molecules present in the solids will be compactly present and it will be solid. If it is mediumly represented, that is called as liquids. If the particles of the molecules are very far away between each other, then it will be light and it is called as gases. Now I am going to explain now. In a glass of water, liquid is present and the fluids also exert force of friction. That means even the particles, molecules in the water moves from one place to the another. If you pour a glass of water and just if you watch in a clear glass of water, you can see that particles moving. The water particles will move from one place to the another place. So there also we excrete force of friction on objects in motion through them. In the same way, if you have a beaker and you are going to pour oil in it, oil is a little thicker version of liquid. Even in that you can see that particles will be moving, that oil droplets will be moving inside and it will take some time to rest in one particular motion. From this you can make out even fluids, liquids and gases. It exerts force of friction, even it will have motion through them. Next side heading is fluid drag. That's what is this drag? Drag means pulling from one place to the another place. So here even liquids, fluids, gases, force of friction, it excrete the friction and then the force of friction is exerted by fluids. So the force of friction which is excreted by fluids, that excreted by fluids meaning is dragging, that is pulling. So that is called as fluid drag. So it is valid in gases also. Even gases excrete the force of friction. Even we can, that fluid drag is common for liquids also, gases also and fluids also. And the next points are the frictional force of an object depends upon the speed of the object with respect to the fluid, the shape of the object, the nature of the fluid. Some fluids, for example, some liquids will be thicker, thinner and lighter version, and gases are what? Very lighter version. The speed of the object with respect to the fluid, the shape of the object. For example, if I am pouring a water in a glass of water, we will have different types of motion. Same water is filled with a bottle, it will be having different waves of excreting motion. If it is in a pot of water, it will have different version of excreting. So the speed will differ. Next, the shape of the object. Even the shape of the object can differ, and the nature of the fluid, whether it is liquidy, whether it is fluidy, whether it is oily. So the nature of the fluid also may differ. So the frictional force of an object depends upon on these three things: speed of the object, respect to the fluid, shape of the object and nature of the fluid. So we can say that it is a fluid drag depend upon the frictional force of an object. So we can tell that frictional force, another name is called as fluid drag. Okay, how can gas be a liquid? For the same question I want to say ethanol is a liquid. It is a gas but which is in the liquid state. So next point is the speed of the object with respect to fluid. More is the speed of the object, more is the friction. Now I put the picture for you. In that picture, the boy is swimming in the river. The boy is using his applied force in his hands. He is moving towards the direction of front. but the water in the river is having the opposite direction and it produces friction. So here the speed is of object with how the water flows. If the water flow is very high, and the speed will get reduced. If the water flow is subtle, and the speed of the boy will be more. So the speed of the object motion is in the water respect to the fluid's friction. Next point is it depends upon the shape of the object. More is the surface of the object, more is the friction. So look at the picture, what I put the picture for you. So yeah, boat is on the river bed or on the seashore or on the sea. That boat will not move fastly because the body of the boat will be light and it will not sink inside the water also. So look at the shape of the boat, that both the corners will be what? Narrow, and the middle part of the board will be wider. So I already explained you that anything which is having wider in the middle part of the body and corners are in the narrow shape, then they will have more stability and they will attract less friction. The shape of the boat is called a streamline shape. Okay, I already told you. The middle part will be wider and the corners will be in narrow shape. So even the fish is not sinking because even all type of fishes are having streamlined shape. Okay, the middle part will be wider and the last end part will be narrow or thinner. Because of the streamlined shape, you will have less friction and contact of the body with the friction, or it will reduce the friction in streamlined shape. That's why boats will never sink inside the seashore. Even big ships like Titanic or any big ships also will not sink in the even though it is heavy weight, many persons are inside. Because of the streamlined shape, the middle part will be wider and the corner parts will be in narrow shape, so they will not sink. So they will have less friction. They will not get affected much with the friction because the body will not have more contact and it will have more stability in the middle part of it. So the ship will be stabilized properly. So next, the nature of fluids. Here I am going to tell different types of fluids. One is water and next one is oil. Why oil is thicker than water? Because the particles of molecules present in the oil is closer. That's why oil is thicker. And then water is thinner because molecules in the water are far away. So compared to water, oil is thicker. So the density of oil is more, the density of water is less. So in a glass of water, I am going to take half glass of water. I am going to take, on that I am going to pour 8 spoons of oil in it. The oil will not go mix with the water. The oil will be floating on the top of the water. Why? Because the water is less denser and oil is more denser, which will not mix. Same thing, I am going to have one juice squash. I am going to fill it in a glass. Then I am going to put water in it. Juice also less denser, water also less denser. So both will mix each other easily. To reduce fluid drag, certain steps can be taken. Objects are given special shapes, that is, they are made streamlined. So I already told you that even in ships and boats, the middle part will be having a medium, which is streamlined, that is broader, and the narrow ends will be thin and small, and it will be crooked, that is its closed figure. Okay, so it can reduce the fluid drag. Okay, then we will not have more friction. Even the boat or ship can sail in the water properly. So streamlined shape, it is the shape which is narrow from ends and wider from the middle. Why birds and fishes have streamlined body? They have streamlined body in order to overcome the friction offered to them by fluids, that is air and water. As streamlining reduces the surface area, and we know more is the surface area, more is the friction offered. That means the fish, the middle part of the body will be wider. On the corners will be narrow and steep. Same like that, even for birds, the corner and the tail part will be narrow and steep, and the middle part of the body of the bird will be wider, so that the body, the air and water is present in them, the fluids are present in them, makes them lighter to fly in the air for the birds and to swim in the water for fishes. So the streamlined, the body is shaped for streamline to adjust with the friction. So that's why birds and fishes have streamlined body. Hope you understood, children. Next is the three types of friction we are going to learn. First one is static friction, second one is sliding friction, third one is rolling friction. So we are going to learn about the first sight reading is static friction. It is a friction which comes into the noise when body is just in contact with the other body, but there is no relative motion. For example, in a surface, I am going to drag the box from one place to another place. It produces sound. The sound causes. So it proves that if one body is with the contact of another body, but there is no relative motion, but if it is friction is there, it produces sound. Next sight reading is sliding friction. It is the friction offered when body slide over another body. For example, a boy is pulling a toy on a clean surface. So both the things are smooth and there is no ridges. So the body of the toy will move easily and firmly. So there will not be any disturbance. There is no ridges and grooves. So that is called as sliding friction. Here the friction is slippery and makes the surface smooth to make the toy to move from one place to another place smoothly. Next sight reading is rolling friction. It is a friction when one body rolls over the surface of another body. For this I am going to take an example of skating shoes. The skating shoes are wheels which will move smoothly on the surface of the thing. Here even the body which is in contact, both are same, both are smoother. So the friction wheel, the friction produces, even the mole and even the ball inside the wheel moves, even the wheel moves, so the shoes moves on the plain surface of area. This is called as rolling friction. Hope you understood, children. This is the friction. This is the full lesson. Already I sent the notes for you. Complete it, finish it. Hope you understood, children. Those who have doubts, you can ask me in the WhatsApp. And many are asking, send the previous video. I'll be sending the link to you. Copy the link and click on the link and find out the class. Thank you and have a nice day. Bye. So this rolling friction. In this friction, when one body rolls over the surface of another body. So I have put all the class for you, children. 2 lessons over. Hope you write the notes. Okay. And write the question and answer. In last class, I uploaded the notes for you. And you will be writing unit test in next physics period. That is next science class, you will be writing unit test. Hope you will understand. Write all the points what all I mentioned in the clip over there. Okay. So each clip I put some points for you, no. Even those points you have to write it. You have to write and you have to submit it. Hope you will finish it. Look at the video. If you don't understand, 2 times or 3 times you look at the video. Subscribe this channel so you'll be getting next update for you. Hope you will understand. One day we'll be calling you. So when the school reopens, I will check the notes on lesson number 1, force and pressure, and lesson number 2, friction lesson. Both the notes will be checked and corrected. So get ready for the unit test. Thank you.